What is up, everyone? Thanks for stopping by. Today, we're doing some maintenance on the Tacoma. So we're going to knock out the I screwed up every time. Spherical bearings. You know what I'm talking about? The lower bearings on the coilovers. So we're going to take care of them today. I've never done it. I got to give a huge shout out to 303 Shock Services. Parts look great. Stickers are awesome. Thank you for the shirt. Full disclosure, I asked for a shirt because I like the logo and I thought it would look cool with a black t-shirt. And you are right, man. The large is a little small. I'm a little self-conscious, but I love the shirts. I'm going to rock it. The reason why I definitely like 303 Shock Services is because they will also rebuild your shocks. So these guys are in Colorado. They wheel. They know what they're doing. They rebuild shocks for a living. So I'll put a link to their website down below. Make sure to check them out. They also will sell you brand new bolts for the bottom. I think it's a good idea to buy the bolts, just pack it into the kit. The way that Toyota uses their bolts, their lower bolt that they have through the misalignment spacers, it has a different taper size. So one of the spacers ends up kind of shaking a little bit and causing some issues, which I'll show you that when we get over onto the bench. That being said, while we're doing the maintenance, we have some big parts coming. So RCVs just got here. Those are a pretty long wait. They finally got here. And then you guys got to check out this. My dudes, look at this Tundra rack. How beautiful is this? Look at that. I'll give a shout out to Basic Biker on Instagram. This is artwork, bro. It's beautiful. All right. So that's all going to be going in soon. And then I'm getting hit up a lot to, before I say that, I should let you know, I will put his Instagram down below so you guys can check him out. Super nice guy, easy to talk to. He's also on Tacoma World, easy to talk to there. He does good work. So I've been getting hit a lot about why I don't have anything up from Windrock. Guys, it's because I did not get to go. So right when the week of the hurricane hitting here in Florida was when we were supposed to go to Windrock. So a lot of the crew went. I kind of got hit the worst out of anyone in the crew. Not bad in comparison to other areas. So just had a lot of water on the ground, no power, no water, and also had a tree leaning up against the house. And you know, I'm not going to lie. My ride or die, my awesome wife was like, yo, just go have a good time. And I was like, nah, can't leave the house with no power, no water, and a tree on the house. So I stayed. I've been trying to get some of the Instagram photos up from there, kind of putting them up on my story or on my reels, but for the most part, I don't have any footage of me there because I did not go. I think that's good. I'm trying to think what else. Yeah, I think we're good. Let me get you up on the bench. So up here on the bench, before we get the coilovers up here, I kind of want to just go through with you what I did order and like kind of what you're going to get. So on the site, you're going to see 3 different options for bearings. We kind of got like your average, then like your step up, and then your super hardcore. I kind of went in the middle with the step up. You kind of can make it work for where your environment is. You know, if you're getting a lot of salt, a lot of snow, a lot of stuff going on, I'd probably get with the hardcore. And to be honest with you, it's the material that the bearings are made out of. But completely honest, I am not an expert in metals, so I went with the middle grade. I thought it was good for here in Florida. I'm going to run into my water. I'm going to run into a lot of my mud and my dirt. I think this should work. With the kit, you're also going to get your misalignment spacers. They slide into the bearings. And then you're going to get your snap rings, C-clips, you know, whatever it is you guys call them. I know them as snap rings. Another thing that I chose to order that you can too, I mean, I would recommend it if you run any kit, right? If you run anything that has misalignment spacers on our Tacomas, go ahead and get the upgraded bolts. And here's the reason why. It's not just like, oh, these are thicker and way cooler. No, it's because the bolts that Toyota uses, right? If you look at this, I'm going to make sure I get this really good for you guys. If you look at this, there's a step down from here to here. So that little step down, what ends up happening is, let me see if I can show you. Imagine, you know, the bolt is going through the shock. You got your misalignment spacer here, right? And then you have your misalignment spacer here. If you notice right now, this misalignment spacer, so the inside one, right, is going to be sitting on the thicker part. And then you can see where the thicker part kind of tapers down. Then your outside one, kind of pointing to the front, is sitting on the thinner side. And guess what? Look at all that movement in there, right? So That's what kind of will let kind of water, nastiness, and crap get in there, like rust these out so they get really bad. Sometimes I've seen them where this has kind of worn out so bad it's kind of cut like a half moon here. So it's creating a lot of issues with this and just not holding this side down right. So I think it's a good idea, you know, to go ahead and upgrade to this. The reason being is now when your misalignment spacers are in, there is absolutely no movement in there, okay? And that's why I think it's a good idea. Do they look cool? Yeah. So now that I went over that, let me get the coilovers up here and we'll go ahead and start taking it apart. So right here, first thing I did was just kind of give it a good little cleaning. I sprayed it down, and I'm trying to figure out why that misalignment spacer won't come off. Apologies for that coming off video there. I ended up having to use a set of pressure pliers, clamped it to it, and then hammered it off, went right through. So the back one came off of the 7/16. I'm just going back and forth, a little bit of cleaning, trying to get that snap ring out. Mine were pretty bad in there. The bearing itself didn't want to come out either, so I used another socket. I don't remember what socket it was right now. When I'll put it in the description when I figure out what it was. But I was able to get it going with some good hammer wax right around that bearing. So it did work. It did come off, but just take your time here. It's not going to come off really easy. So here's that couple of hammer wax that got it moving, and then just started degreasing, cleaning. I took my snap ring pliers and I put it in the groove of the snap ring because it was just caked in there to get everything out. Dropped in the one snap ring on the bottom, and then got the put a little bit of I want to say it was anti-seize that I used because I got it all over my phone. It was terrible. Started getting the bearing in. I did end up having to put this one on a vise to get it to go and get it started. So here's the setup, guys. Not ideal. So we got going on. I got this just kind of sitting on a piece of wood because a press would be much better. But let's see. Nice and easy. Better hold this. Let's see. There we go. I just wanted to show you this, guys, real quick. Once you kind of get it started, it starts to slide in. Once you butt it up against, you know, the bottom pin, you will feel it and know it's there. Let me see if I can flip this. Everything becomes more of a pain in the ass with one hand when you have a resi, because it just doesn't want to do what you want it to do. Okay. So then there you can see where I'm all the way in, kind of butted up against that inner line right there. And what we're going to do now is just put in our new snap ring and we are good to go. Right here, after I get the snap ring in, you can see me kind of test fitting the bolt and also test fitting the misalignment spacers. It's a really good idea to get one in, get the bolt, then throw the other misalignment spacer in the back. It'll make sure to get centered into the bearing. And then what you see me doing here is just kind of tightening it down so I can push it into the bearing. I do recommend once you tighten it down and they stick in there, go ahead and put it back in a vise if you have one, or use a clamp. Get them in really tight together, that way you don't have any issues when you reinstall it back on the truck. It's really because if you don't get them in really tight, you could potentially run into an issue with them sliding into the lower control arm mount, so just get them in nice and tight. All right, fellas, just like that, we're done. I'm not gonna make you watch me put them back in because I gotta clean and re-grease some zerks and stuff. My bushings on need to get re-greased. If you got any questions, make sure to drop them down below. Again, shouts out to 303 Shock Services. Make sure to check them out. Website also, Basic Biker. I'll put his Instagram down below so you guys can check out the Tundra Rack. But just thanks for watching. Really appreciate it if you like and subscribe. Helps me out a ton. You guys stay safe out there.